Hey there guys, it's TheRamosOnline here, and I want to apologise that this isn't a doubles rated battle spot video. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the time to record, so instead, you get to watch my first ever OU battle on stream, which was pretty interesting. I think this was my first OU battle at least, maybe I had another one, but I didn't save it. Anyway, so, the reason I couldn't record any of the normal rated battle spot doubles, wow, is because my rating kind of tanked back down to the 1500s. I just had a really unfortunate losing streak with a lot of RNG and a lot of Pokemon that had to get replaced because they just weren't hitting important moves. So yeah, I'm trying to get my rating back up to 1700s, and I'm kind of having a bit of trouble with it. Again, RNG just being a dick to me right when I needed to not be a dick. So this week is just going to be a bunch of versus recorded battles that are, you know, from my stream, and maybe some stream highlights as well. Now what I normally do with these videos is I just leave them running with background music, and that's it. I don't talk over them. I let you guys kind of figure out what's going on in the battle yourselves. But there was a few turns in this battle that didn't quite make sense to an inexperienced battler. So what I'm going to do with a few of these is talk over them like I'm doing, so I can point out some very key turns that might confuse some newer battlers. It might help them learn about, you know, how the game works. So this is actually the beginning of one of those first instances where I bring in Top Cat, my offensive, kind of bulky offensive Landorus, and he goes into his Charizard. Now what they should have told me was that this Charizard was a bulky Charizard X and he wanted to Dragon Dance, but I went for Rock Slide just seeing a Charizard here, and he didn't Mega Evolve, fully expecting my Earthquake. So that's why the Charizard came in and went down without doing anything. He expected me to predict a bulky Charizard X and to go for the Earthquake, and an over-predict on his part, a mispredict on my part, resulted in the death of the Charizard very early on, and that really did kind of affect the battle in the long run, because he kind of did have me in a position where bulky Zard X would have basically wiped me. But as a result of that mispredict and overpredict, Charizard is gone. So I'm now just trying to deal with this sneaky Pebble. I know this thing wants a defog, so I have to keep pressure on it just to make sure that it can't get that defog off, because that defog really messes with his Chandelure in the back. So I'm just kind of, you know, U-turning, Volt switching, or at least I'm trying to U-turn and Volt switch around with my Rotom, bulky Rotom. Sorry, I'm bumping into cans and everything. My bulky Rotom Rosa. I think this version of Rosa is more physically bulky. I have two different OU teams. One has a mixed bulk Rotom, the other one has a physically bulky Rotom. I think this one is the physically bulky one. I go for the Hydro Pump expecting Jolteon to come back in, but it doesn't, so I miss anyway, so it didn't matter if Jolteon came in or not. But now I view this as a good opportunity to Volt Switch back out. I pictured that, you know, he wouldn't want to go into Jolteon knowing that I'm trying to go for the Hydro Pumps. So I'm really kind of playing on the edge, switching around. Now I go into Index, my only real resist to Fairy type moves, and yeah, Shiny Metagross, yay! I understand, yeah, I know guys, Mega Metagross is getting suspected, but it isn't banned yet, so I am using it in this battle. If it gets banned, I will switch to the other OU team in the event of being challenged to an OU battle, but until that happens, I am using Mega Metagross. So, I go straight for the Meteor Mash, knowing this thing might want to protect. I did want to overpredict, and I knew he'd want to switch into his Skarmory here, seeing the Meteor Mash. So I go back into Rotom. I'm just trying to play the switching game with him, trying to make sure he can't go for that defog, because I need those rocks on this side of the field. It completely wrecks the Chandelure, and it's just dealing a nice, you know, annoying amount of damage to all this Pokemon. He can't really switch in any offensive Pokemon with the rocks on the field, because rocks plus switching damage from whatever attack I go for is going to affect him. I thought he might expect me to go for another Hydro Pump, so I went for Volt Switch there. Knowing the Jolteon is just too frail to risk bringing in. And the battle was kind of getting, you know, on. It was about 20 minutes at this point. So I go into Annabelle, and I'm trying to make the first real offensive move. So I go for my Belly Drum. I get to +6. Now, I don't run Waterfall on this as Emerald. I run Knockoff, Play Rough, and Aqua Jet with Belly Drum, as you see there. So I go straight for the Aqua Jet onto this thing. So if it wants to protect, it will expect me to be going for Aqua Jet. And it does protect. So I go for the Aqua Jet, and that basically says to him that if he stays in, he's going to die to an Aqua Jet. So what I do here is I go for the Knockoff, expecting him to switch into Skarmory. That was a mispredict, and as a result, I lose Annabelle very early on in the match. She doesn't even get a kill. I could have easily just broken this wall and started making a dent in his team, but he really predicted that very well and stayed in. So now I go into my superior. He goes into Sneaky Pebble. No surprises there. And I go for the Leaf Storm. A lot of you guys are like, well, why did superior go to borderline? I still think borderline is a very stupid place for superior. I don't think it's that strong. I think it's like the Mega Metagross kind of thing, where it works very well in OU, but it's more of a UU Pokemon. So I go for Taunt here, again, want to prevent them rocks. Chandelure just took a lot of damage. Now he over-predicts me to switch, and I go for the Dragon Pulse, expecting him to, you know, want to over-predict. And that was great. That +2 Dragon Pulse actually put him in rocks range. So as long as I can prevent a defog, Chandelure's also dead. So that's why I wanted to keep my rocks up. So at +2, Leaf Storm's almost going to take out the Special Wall, and now I'm finally getting work done. Chandelure's dead if it switches in. White Purity's on the fall. She's going down pretty quickly. I go to the Protect on my Leaf Storm, and I kind of make a few mispredicts. This is my first time using a superior in an OU match. He's trying to make me run out of Leaf Storm. That's his main goal, and I go for Hidden Power, not wanting to run out of Leaf Storm, and then quickly find out that even at +4, Hidden Power is not going to kill this thing. So again, that's one of the reasons why I think it shouldn't be borderline, because if it isn't able to use its stab, it's very weak even at like +6. So he keeps trying to go for the double protect to make him run out of Leaf Storms. Isn't going to win, but unfortunately he misses the protects a few times, and down goes the Florgus. Goes into the Chandelure, hoping he can live the rock's damage, but unfortunately he can't. That was obviously Scarf Chandelure. Goes into Jolteon now, and takes a bit of rock's damage. He has Signal Beam. Did not expect that. I'm not even sure if that's a thing Jolteon tend to run, because I don't run it. So that is going to take out my superior. Unfortunately, Willow can't be going for any amazing sweeps. Again, another reason why I don't think it's too strong. It's really easy to kill. But at this point in the match, I've pretty much won. I can now spam Dark Pulse. Oh yeah, the Porygon too. Never mind, I can't spam Dark Pulse. What am I thinking? Traces my Levitate, not a big deal. I do have no Pokemon that can really, I think I still have my Landorus at this point, but I have no reason to switch it in on the Porygon. Going to Rosa so I can burn it, just so I have the residual damage going on it. I run the Pain Split, Willow, Hydro, and Volt Switch, kind of a standard set, not very imaginative. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of OU. Pretty much all my sets are kind of standard. My Landorus set is perhaps the most interesting set in that it uses the Earth Plate, or Ground Plate, or whatever it's called, rather than like a Choice Scarf or something. It's actually a bulky build. So now I just get to go into Index. He goes for the Tri-Attack. I'm just crossing my fingers, hoping he doesn't burn or paralyze me, and he doesn't, or freeze me. That can happen as well. So I now just go for the Hammer Arm. That would still do a lot of damage to the Skarmory, and that does take out the Porygon too, and that is game. He knows there's no way he can win after that with only Sneaky Pebble left. Able to keep rocks out off the game the whole time. So I was able to keep my rocks up the whole time, rather. And yeah, it was just a bit too much for Chadley. So I apologize that there's going to be no rated battle spot videos this week, guys, but please just bear with me. I really didn't have the time to do it. I will try and have some for next week. Unless you guys prefer this, because you know I really do enjoy just stream battles, because 6v6 more fun than 3v3, and even the VGC battles are much more fun when they're done with with people I know in stream. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day.